Thank you, Ana. Thank you, everybody from Reforma. My name is Ingeborg Portales from Lectorum, and I am going to present the book that we have. Of course, we have more books, but because of the time, I made a selection that I would like to highlight some title, but we have more than them. First, we have this amazing collection from Katie Camilo, our lovely Katie Camilo. I think all you know that Katie Camilo is one of the 6 people, one of the 6 writers to win 2 Newbery medals. Only 6 writers win 2 medals from Newbery Award, and Katie Camilo is one of them. We have the collection Mercy Watson. It's from Lectorum, it's our publication, and as you see, it's in paper and grade level around 1st through 3rd grade. The price is amazing, and we have one title that is perfect for Halloween time. Mercy Watson se disfraza de princesa. Graphic novel. Graphic novels are very popular every day, more popular between children, young adults, and even adults. And we have 4 right now. Margot Malou, the first one. I like to say that Margot Malou was selected by Junior Library Guild in the fall selection, this book. Margot Malou y los chicos del centro comercial. We also have Margot Malou y los espeluznantes casos de Margot Malou. Both books. If you are interested, but I think that is a book that you must have in your collection. Tony o cómo conseguir el astronauta Flash. Soccer, very popular between children, and they love to collect the card about the player. It's an amazing book too. Ana de las Tejas Verdes, the classic, doesn't need like a lot of presentation, but right now, in graphic novel. And also El Club de las Baby City with the new title, El Talento de Claudia. And it's very important because right now in Netflix is the series that is doing amazing. And during the quarantine time, everybody was watching the series, children, young adults, and even adults. Bruño, Ojos Saltones is a collection, is a series from Bruño for level pre-K, kinder. There are 4 books. Excellent to learn vocabulary with children through the animals, through the story of the animal that children always love animals. Vamos a la cama panda, vamos a salir elefante, vamos a jugar guepardo, y vamos a comer mono, also to create a daily routine with children. Cometa Rojo, maybe some of you remember this title, this collection, a lot of years ago from Everest. We have right now the collection from Cometa Roja. Sorry, I always say Rojo, Cometa Roja. They are classic for young children level kinder through 2nd grade. But the important is that they are bilingual book, and each book has audiobook included. And the price is amazing, $9.99 each book. This picture book, I love these 2 picture books, Atrapamiradas y Cuando la tecnología secuestró a mi mamá. Beautiful, sorry, beautiful illustration. The first one, Atrapamirada, we know about the technology, that technology has a lot of pros, but also a lot of cons. And this book is about disadvantage that technology brings. The first one is like Atrapamiradas. Everybody's losing eyes contact right now because everybody's in the device. And this book is about that. It's amazing. It's a beautiful story and amazing illustration. And also the same thing, but about how family is losing, like sharing, like real sharing, and with no technology in the middle. An important issue, of course, immigrant experiences. This book tells the story about immigrant experiences through the relationship between the father and a son. It's a really, I think that if I were in the library, I love to read this book with children, make like a reading time, because it has a lot of, it's beautiful. Movies and books. Memorable and favorite character from movies. I was like researching dates. Imagine E.T. from 1982, the movie from Steven Spielberg, and Regreso al Futuro, 1985, the famous Marty McFly, the character. Time fly when I saw this day, oh my goodness. And Solo en Casa, a little present by 1992. Well, right now we have these 3 books and these 3 movies and book for children in Spanish, and really funny and beautiful illustration too. And nonfiction, this collection is from Vicente and Vives. They are big books with, the most amazing is the illustration, 3 of them about animals, animales extraños y maravillosos, la vida de los dinosaurios, children love dinosaurs, y el fascinante libro de los animales extinguidos. I love all of them, but el fascinante libro de los animales extinguidos is beautiful, and it's amazing to for children to learn animals that are in risk and the important to protect them. Biography, not fiction. We have 2 biographies. Greta, la lucha de una niña por salvar el planeta, un libro from the Juventud. And it was amazing when I was trying to like learn a little more about Greta Thunberg. Sorry, I can't pronounce the last name because it's from Swedish. And when I type in Google Greta is the first Greta. This Greta is the first Greta that appeared. Another Greta important like rock singer or the actress Greta Garbo appear under Greta. She's the first one. It's amazing. Well, this is biography and very important to talk with children about ecology, about the protection of the environment. And we also have Niñas que imaginaron lo imposible, sorry, de Tony Amago, in the same scene. But I think this is an excellent book to support with young children. The Me Too movement right now is very important because there are women in history that they are very important and they trained and they did what they trained. It's a beautiful book for support Me Too movement. Diversity and tolerance, another important issues in this day, that we have to accept more diversity people, family. The first book, Diversidad, about acceptance, about feelings, about the importance of the word when you refer to another person and you don't respect another person. It's a beautiful book and important, with an important message. And Oliver Button is una nena from Tommy de Paola. All of you know, unfortunately, Tommy de Paola recently died last March, or April, March. But this is a book, an important legacy from all of us, with the other books that he wrote, of course, but this is super important in those days. Environment science. This book related with the Greta book, also about science, environment, how to protect the environment, how to recycling, reusing, ecology. basura, todo sobre la cosa más molesta del mundo. When I throw the garbage in my house, like I think, oh my goodness, a lot of garbage every day. Where is this going? Well, this book is about that. It's amazing, and the illustration, as you see in the cover, are really original. Y tú puedes cambiar el mundo in the same thing: environment protection, science, recycling. So, chapter books. These three chapter books, Amelia Fan y Las Vacaciones de Media Luna. We have Amelia Fan number 1, 2, and 3. You should have in your library. No, you can ask me if you like to have all of them. It's a very popular series in English. And we have Cole de Espías, de Stuart Gibbs. It's a premio American writer. The series in English is from Simon & Schuster, and is super popular. We have number 1, but we have to, we hope to have then the following numbers too. And Princesa Sin Gracia, I really love this book because it's about princess, but every girl wants to be a princess when they are little young, but this book is exactly the opposite. The princess are not perfect. It's sin gracia. It breaks with the stereotype about princess with a lot of humor. And in classic, in chapter book, we also have 3 classic that they doesn't need a lot of presentation. Finales y Comienzo, de Ana de las Tejas Verdes, from Montgomery, Aquellas Mujercitas de Louisa May Alcott, y El Árbol Muy Lejano de Enid Blyton. They don't need like too much presentation, but all of them in hardcover and grade level like 4 through 8th grade. And the final chapter book, we have this series, a new series, is a translation. It's a translation from the Italian. The author is Italian. I saw with the name that was from American or British, but it's from Italia. And this is the kind of book that children love to read in those days because it's about mystery, suspense, a kind of thriller for children. And they, when they read that, they think that they are older. It's a beautiful series. There are 6 books in the series. For young adult books, I'm going to continue with young adult. And the first book that we have, ya most of you know, es Balada de los Pájaros, Cantores y Serpientes, of course, the prequela or second part of Hungry Game, de los Juegos del Hambre, de Susan Collins. And it's amazing. This book has been the best-selling book in her first week of publication. Just one first week of publication, and the book sell more than any book. Young adult, children, adult, more than any book. Around 400,000 copies in English, and in English version, of course, but yes, more than 400,000 copies. You must have in your collection, in your Spanish collection. Coming soon, Twilight series number 5. Do you remember the Twilight series about vampires? Of course you remember about vampires. It was around 2008, 12 years ago. Also, the time flies, incredible. Crepúsculo, I don't like the word in Spanish. I prefer the word in English. Twilight is a beautiful word for me. Sometimes I play with my daughter like fine word in Spanish and English. What is the beautiful word? See, it's in English or in Spanish. This is one of them. And the title is Sol de la Medianoche. It will be around November of this year. And I will keep you informed about the book. The book is from Penguin Random House, of course, Veronica Cervera, but we have it. And I will keep inform you when we already have the book here. Three books about one important issue, like and for LGBT community between young adults. The first one, 22 Segundos, from the Eva Menjuto. The author is an Spanish writer. Tell about the childhood and adolescence of transsexual boys. Rojo, Blanco, y Sangre Azul. Casey McKinson is an American author from the New York Times. She's in the best-selling list always. And I would like to read like a little synopsis about the book because I think it's very important. And say, true love is not always diplomatic. Alex, the son of the president of the United States, is a treasure for a White House marketing. But the tabloid press published a photo of a fight between Alex and Henry. And Henry, who is Henry? Henry is the son of the Queen of Inglaterra, of England. The relation between the United States and the kingdom is affected because of that. But both countries draw a plan to mitigate the damage. Begin a false friendship or fake news, like it's super popular in those days, fake news on Instagram. But this false relation become into something deeper that Alex and Henry could have imagined, and it's the love between Alex and Henry, and how the love can change everything, the real love. And the last one, Hairstopper, from Alice Osterman. The author is British, is a British author, and also is the story about two boys that met and then become friends and then fall in love. And fiction, adventure books. Destino Londres, the author Andrea Smith. She really is Andrea Herrero, but she signs Andrea Smith. I think that you have to have the three books before we have it. Mi único plan, Soy Les, y Mi plan D. This is the new book from Andrea Smith. It's in Spanish, it's authentic. Mar de Acero, from Natalie Parker, Adventure 2. She was really famous with the trilogy Mar de Fuego. The book belonged to the same trilogy. And La Maldición del Mendigo. If you remember the Monstrólogo or Monstrólogo, this is the second part of Monstrólogo. And it's also mystery, suspense, adventure. And Rick Jensen is an author from Miami. He born in Miami. More chapter book, fiction. The first one, Furia y Tormenta, the Jennifer Armentrout, an American writer in the New York Times best-selling. And famous, if you're related with the saga Lux of Book, there were 7 books in this saga, and also she had the trilogy Elementos Oscuros. Second one, Eternas, the Donial Clayton, is the second book. She has another book, but it's the second book related with Bella. The other book, Bella, won the Lodestar Award first for the best year. Won the Lodestar Award for the best young adult book, El Libro Bella. We also have Bella, and right now we have Eterna. If you like information about Bella, contact me, please. Llámalo como quieras, another writer from the New York Times bestseller. And the important about Bridget Kemmer is that all her books are always reviewed by the school library journal institution or organization that review and select and recommend reading books for young adults. Los Niños de Wilson Lane, the author is a writer, but is a famous pianist that have a star television show. And the book is about the Second World War, after the Second World War, like a history of hope and survival. Beautiful book. Romance for young adults. When I sing in romance, I sing in like in traditional romance, but right now and for young adults, they are completely different because they included an important thing for young adults like bullying, like body shaming, like sexism, like racism, equality, and of course, very important, feminism. The first one, Vivirás, the Ana Franco, the author is from Argentina, it's authentic, it's a BNR. And Reina Speak, the Gen Y is a traduction in the same thing with the same problematics. I think it's like another kind of romance for young adult, not the traditional romance. And this is all the book that I select for the presentation for children and young adult. As I told you at the beginning of the presentation, we have more. We will include all of them, of course, always in the bulletin, and the monthly bulletin, and the Excel. But some information, some help, if you want to know more about one title or one collection, or you need a specific thing, or try to or find a specific book for your Spanish collection in your library, just write an email. My email is iportales@lectorum.com, or just call me 201-559-2247, and I will be more than happy to help you with the selection and with your Spanish collection, all of you.
Thank you, Ingeborg. We do have a couple questions and comments here. From guests, I'm so happy to see books in Spanish that our children can enjoy, and we have the same enjoyment as those English speakers have with books. Thank you, guest. And then Jennifer, is there a book list of all the books talked about in the presentation today? And then Madeline answered, we're going to add the presentation and links to the website. And she included a link in the chat box. And then Alex also said, please write to Ingeborg for, I guess, for a book list. And then Pia says, let me see if there's another. Oh, we have a comment from Jancy. These books are all great. I always struggle with the extremely high cost of Spanish or bilingual books. These prices are really high. Do we have any comments, Ingeborg or Alex?
Well, about prices that are really high on some of the book.
About the price of the book?
Yeah.
No,
creo que por aquí.
Hello, I was at a different. Okay, about prices. The prices are in the PowerPoint presentation, but we can send you a complete list of the prices and the discounts. That was the question, right? Yeah. So the prices are there. Those are list prices, but you have, the discount.
Okay, thank you, Alex. Let's see. We have a question from Pia. When do we know the title is a translation? or originally in Spanish? When the title is shown also in English, it's a translation, otherwise originally in Spanish. Just want to make sure.
Okay, not necessarily. We can tell you which is translation, which is original. We put for reference purposes, the translation sometimes is the original title is in English. Sometimes just for reference purposes, we translate the title. But we can let you know whether it's a authentic book or if it's a translation.
Okay, thank you. And then Christine says, it appears many of these are translations. Is this accurate?
Many are. What we have found in all the books that we bring is that both translations and authentic literature are popular. What I always say is good literature no matter where it originates. So if it's a translation of a good book, might as well, have the translation. So we have both authentic literature and then translations, yes.
Okay, and then one more question. How do we know about the publishers? Publishers from Spain do not service my community and populations well. Who are the publishers?
Publishers, we bring books from all over. We do bring books from Spain. Spain happens to be a powerhouse in publishing. I would say more than half of the books that are published in Spanish are published in Spain. However, we bring books from Mexico, from Colombia, from Argentina, from the rest of Latin America, plus Spain. So in particular, if you want books just from Latin America, we can do a selection of books just from Latin America, and even from some authors from certain countries, or books about certain countries, if that's what you're looking for.
Okay, thank you. I don't see any more questions. Thank you, Alex and Ingeborg.
Thank you, Anna. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. So our next presenter is Catalina Holguin from MakeMake. For more information about this company, please visit reforma.org/bookbuzz. And remember to use our hashtag ReformaBookBuzz. Feel free to add your questions to the chat box during the presentation, and they will be answered at the end. As a reminder, these presentations are being recorded for future viewing. Welcome, Catalina.
Will you see me and hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so good morning or good afternoon to all of you. My name is Catalina Holguin, and I am the director of a web-based subscription platform with authentic Latin American books called MakeMake. So I'm going to share my screen and please let me know if you can see it now, please. I hope I can see it.
Yes, we can see it, Catalina. Yes.
Thank you, Edwin. Okay, so my name is Catalina. I am the director of MakeMake, and this is a fairly web-based digital books. We represent 42 Latin American publishers with close to some 750 books. And we specialize in serving schools and public libraries, basically. You see here Lectorum's logo because we are associated with Lectorum to serve the American public. So I will present MakeMake, the platform. I will show you like the whole system of books. I will focus on a few books, not specifically do like a tour of specific titles, but more the whole system so you can get a sense of the kind of books that you can find with MakeMake. And of course, any questions that you have, you can write in the chat box, and I'm sure we will have time to get to those questions. So, so as I was saying, MakeMake is a is a digital platform. We specialize in digital books. We work with a multiple user, multi-reader, unlimited reading system, which means we try to make access to books as easy as possible. And why is this important for us? Because we have books for kids starting from ages 3 to 16, even though we have all this range of ages. Most of, I would say that a great deal of our collection is focused on kids in ages between 3 and 12. That would be like our strongest set of books. Given this kind of population that we work with, it's quite important that the platform is easy to use, that it has no ads, no chats, no strangers, no collection of data, and that is as easy to use as possible. We also focus on helping librarians and teachers help them to use these books with their community. And so we produce bi-weekly newsletters and have a blog and webinars and all sorts of tools to support the libraries and schools in sharing these books with their community. The books, as I said, they're all in Spanish. I would say 95% of our books are authentic Latin American books, because most of the publishers that we work with, even though they publish also translated books, they don't usually carry the digital rights. So as a matter of fact, responding to some of the questions from the previous presentation, here you can find authentic books from publishers like you're probably familiar with. They've been in the market for 35 years at least, but also up and coming independent Latin American publishers and authors.
Catalina, sorry to interrupt. Is it possible to maybe turn off your video camera, because your audio feed is coming out a little
shaky?
Shaky, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll improve it.
Okay. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Awesome, thank you. So what kind of books do we have? We have read-alongs and interactive books, which are awesome for kids in ages between 3 and 7 years. So these are books that have audio, and you can read along with the text, that have animations. Sometimes they have songs. I will try to show a few of these so you can get a sense of what we mean by this kind of books. We have picture books, we have graphic novels and comics, and of course, chapter books, and then nonfiction titles. As I said, we represent right now 42 Latin American publishers, and we're growing all the time with new publishers and books. And so we have books from Chile, from publishers from Chile, from Mexico, from Colombia, from Argentina, a couple from Spain. And that would be sort of like the geography of our books. Right now, 130 of these books include reading guides, which are super useful for teachers. They are downloadable. They include questions to guide the students in the classroom. And we have the books divided, of course, according to genre and to format and to 3 levels of readers, what we call emergent readers, intermediate readers, and advanced readers. I will show you in a bit how this looks in the actual platform. We entered the American market this year We met Alex and his team in the Guadalajara Book Fair just a few months. I had the chance to meet some of you. I had the chance to meet Edwin, for instance. So I'm happy to say LA Public Library has MakeMake, and I believe they're very happy with it. Also, Prince George County Memorial Library in Maryland, Austin Public Library, South Huntington, we're just starting with them, Whittier in California, and Inglewood. So this, I think it's important, and I'm very happy to say that they're using the books, they are doing reading sessions, transmitting the reading sessions through Zoom or other tools like this, and supporting their Latino communities with top quality books. Why do I say top quality books? Because we have, I'm gonna go now to the platform, actually. This is how it looks like. So I think you're looking at this now, I hope. So this is how the platform looks like. If you want to check it out as I speak, you can type makemake.com.co on your web browser. You can follow there's a little sign that says Quiero MakeMake, like I want MakeMake, and there you can fill in your information and request a demo, a free demo, which we will be happy to give you, of course, so you can try it out yourselves. This is how the platform looks like. What we've strived to do is to select the best publishers and age-appropriate books with really, contemporary illustrations. We also have classic stories, and the books we use really visual iconography and big buttons to make it easy for readers to go back and forth. So our books are divided between arts and crafts, sciences, history and essay, poetry and songs, books and numbers, and fiction. This is one way of looking at the books, genres, so you can see comic books, didactic stories, novels, theater, interactive, and so on. And of course, you can use an age filter. This is how the first readers selection would look like. As you can see, I don't know, for instance, Ivar Dacol is a Colombian author. He has a lot of illustrated books, super, super popular in Latin America. It's a beautiful story about a bunch of friends who are in the countryside, and one of them farts, and they are all asking who did it, and that's what the title refers to. No, it wasn't me. Like, I didn't fart, and it's written in verse. It's really lovely, and this is like a huge bestseller in Latin America, for instance. So a picture book would look just like you can flip the pages, you can zoom in the image, zoom out the image. This is, of course, compatible with iPads, Android tablets, Mac computers, Windows computers. It's indifferent to the operating system. And this is pretty much how one of these books like. We also have comic books. Salon Destino from Mexico is a beautiful silent story without words, about a couple that meets while they're dancing, for instance. Raquel y el fin del mundo is a graphic novel about a teenager who's about to finish high school, and is wondering about what's going to become of her life. Calavera Cristal by Juan Villoro is a top Mexican illustrated by Beth, also a Mexican illustrator. This is like some sort of Indiana Jones graphic novel. Super fun to read. An interactive book would look like. And I'm not sure you'll be able to hear it. I'm gonna try it out.
Cuando el reloj marca la una, los esqueletos salen de la tumba. Chumba la cachumba.
So Chumba la Cachumba is a super, I have another, sorry, this is making noise. Chumba la Cachumba is a very popular book by Ekare. I think it's been 20 years in print, and it's a classic, and it includes CDs. So what we've done, we've worked with the publishers to integrate sound. Okay, here again. To integrate music and animation and the sound within the story, and then you can interact with the illustrations. This is the other book that was making the sound. It's called Bajo Alberti, just so you can get a sense of how these books would look like.
Alberti era un niño ruidoso que eructaba como un oso. De tanto rugir y él lo sabe, quedó cantando muy grave.
So this is about a musician who lives with he's very short and his wife is very tall. And
Qué
he's
extraño el tipo de
driving to
abajo.
work with his piano on top of a roof.
Qué raro viaja al trabajo.
So these are super beautiful books. These are these are made in HTML5. So for whoever understands that, it means that they are
Los músicos son
compatible with all web
de
browsers.
distintos tamaños.
These are compatible with all web browsers, and they don't have Flash, so it's good in all your systems. And we've done this together with the author and with musicians. So there are a lot of these books that are truly unique and quite popular with kids and with our users. As I said, we've been working for the past 5 years. We started in Colombia. This is where this project was born. We've now have clients in Mexico, in Ecuador, Peru, Chile, and the USA. Just between this first 6 months of the year, we've had 157,000 books read, an average reading time of 21 minutes, and more than 200 schools and libraries working with us. So what do these numbers mean? I think they mean two things. It means that this multi-user system allows for an easy access, a repeated access to the book. If any of you is familiar with the way digital libraries such as Overdrive work, you will understand that having a multi-user unlimited clicks on the book, it's going to be useful, especially if you're working with kids who will want to see the book. If they like one book, they're going to read this book many times, believe me, until they learn it by heart. When libraries will open, and when they were open, these books can be projected on giant screens or TVs, so you can do story time, and they work quite well, but they're also quite good for individual reading. I think what makes the MakeMake platform unique is that we work to have a great selection of books from publishers who have really a lot of recognition in Latin America and also international recognition. Many of them have received important prizes in the Bologna Book Fair, for instance, which is the greatest kids book fair in the world. We've also developed a lot of these interactive books that are like creative explorations on what a digital book for kids can actually be. And because a lot of them are read out loud, they're pretty useful for supporting literacy and associating the sound of the word with the actual word in a quite beautiful environment with beautiful illustrations and a few interactions. We work, as I said, with established Latin American publishers, as well as up and coming smaller publishers. So you will really get a sense of, with MakeMake, of what is actually being read in south of the border, and possibly represent a big, readership. Because we work with publishers from many countries, you will get books from Mexico, from Argentina, from Chile, from Venezuela, from Colombia, Guatemala as well, Uruguay. We're talking with publishers from Peru, because we're starting to sell a lot of the MakeMake over there. So we're signing new Peruvian publishers, and hopefully other good news that I cannot share right now. But this is to say, that's pretty much what you will find there. Obviously, with the coronavirus, our services have been in high demand in the past 6 months, and we're happy to be of help to support readers and to support schools in continuing with their activities. Here on the screen, you can see contact information from Alex Correa in Lectorum, who is the person who can actually sell this to you. But I'll be happy to take any questions regarding MakeMake or any other things that you need. This is my email, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'm not sure how long it's been.
No, thank you, Catalina. We have some minutes we have some questions for you too. So the first question we have is from Ana Vera Robles. Have you gotten permissions from some of these Latino publishers to read their books on platforms like Facebook and YouTube for the duration of the pandemic? That has been an issue for me to present Spanish storytime online. Most of the books that I'm using are translations from English because of the lack of permissions from Latino publishers.
Yes, we do. We requested special permission from our publishers. The permission is written in the agreement that you sign with us as soon as if you're interested in MakeMake. So yes, you can transmit the books using YouTube or Zoom or whatever. We do ask that you give full credit to author, illustrator, publisher, and platform, and we ask them not to leave the videos like in YouTube online, because then readers usually tend to see the video as opposed to actually reading the book. So that would be what we ask them, not to leave the video just published, but yes, you can do it. So I hope that's good news for you, Anna.
The next question we have is how is your collection refreshed? Will you have more titles added and more publishers to work with? You mentioned that again.
I believe this is Carmen Samarripa, and I think we met in Guadalajara. So hi, Carmen. We are adding titles all the time, but the way we sell the books is that you sign up for a set collection of between 100 and 700 books. And you will keep that collection throughout the duration of your subscription, which is about 1 year, which is usually 1 year. After that year is over, what we do is we evaluate statistics, and by that time we will have new books because we're adding new books all the time. The reason why we have you choose to set a fixed amount of books is because we pay publishers per book. So it's not the same buying 100 books and 200 books. So we pay them per book. So that's why. So it will be technically refreshed every year unless we decide something different, we would have to negotiate it differently, but usually it's 1 year.
Okay, thank you. So the next question we have is from Clarissa Burnaby. Can these be integrated with the catalog?
Yes, because we designed the software to work with institutions, we can integrate with your authentication system. So usually we use Easy Proxy, which is pretty easy way of integrating with your user base. And we also export our metadata so you can integrate it in your catalog. So I will give you the metadata of the books, structured metadata, and then you would have to integrate it. I know that a few of our clients have integrated the books in meta search engines, such as Alma by Primo. If that's familiar with you, I know for sure that our books are integrated with that and other catalogs. So yes.
Thank you. So the next question we have is from Carolyn. Are there books in other languages besides Spanish? I am asking because there are a lot of patrons that come to my branch that are from Honduras who speak Spanish, and Garifuna. A Mexican author by the name of Duncan Tonotiu talks about parts of Mexico that speak other languages besides Spanish.
We have a few, we have mostly the bilingual books, bilingual meaning Spanish and indigenous languages that we have are coming from Chile. And it really depends on the country and the kind of public policy they have for encouraging their native languages. So Chile has been a country that has fostered this kind of publications. And so from Chile, we have a lot of books in Mapuche, for instance. We have a beautiful interactive Mapuche dictionary in Spanish. From Mexico, we do not have, that would be the only case. In Peru, the publishers that we're starting to work with have bilingual, but it will be very hard to get bilingual books from all the native languages, like Native American languages in Latin America. Think that in Colombia only we have about 125 different native languages. So it'll be hard, but it's a great opportunity, the digital book, for doing the language switch. So I think it's something that's going to happen in the years to come because publishers are starting to understand that demographic.
Thank you. So the next question is following from what you talked before from Ana Vera Robles, is can you provide a list of those publishers and the details of their permissions to read their books online? And she says, and then
yes,
because
so,
she works in the Harris County Public Library System. That's what she works for.
Okay. Yes, I think the publishers, we can provide you a list. You have their Alex Correa contact details. We can provide you a list of publishers, but we have, and yes, there is permission from them, and we can give you written permission, indeed, and the specification of how this permission should be used, so that is within, so that everybody's happy. But we've been doing it for the past 6 months with publishers, with libraries in Colombia and the US, and it's worked fine. And thank you, Patty, for saying that you love MakeMake. I appreciate it. And thank you, Oscar. And please, we'll be happy to give you all free demo accounts. So please just drop us a line and you can try it out for yourselves.
Thank you, Catalina. So
Thank
the
you.
last question was about who to contact if you're interested in MakeMake. So they should contact you and Alex, or only Alex?
Yeah, I mean, we can contact Alex, and if he, whatever, it's
Okay,
the same.
both of you.
No issue. Yeah,
All right.
it's
Thank you
perfect.
so much, Catalina.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Catalina. And yes, we do have MakeMake in LAPL, and we do like it a lot. Thank you. Our third and last presenter is Jenny Lizárraga from Cinco Books. For more information about this company, please visit reforma.org/bookbuzz. And remember to use our hashtag ReformaBookBuzz. Feel free to add your questions to the chat box during the presentation, and they will be answered at the end. As a reminder, these presentations are being recorded for future viewing. Welcome, Jenny.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Let me see, where's my camera? Okay, I found it. Can you guys hear me? I don't know where's my camera now.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My camera is somewhere.
If you can't have the camera start, you can always just start with the presentations. I know that we may not be able to see you on video, but
Okay, I'm gonna start with the, sharing the screen. It was good a while ago, but I don't know what is going on. Okay, I'll start here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the invitation. Welcome to the Book Bus and to Cinco Books. I'm gonna show to you small selection that we made with the new releases and outstanding books that we have in our collection from different publishers from Latin America and from Spain. My idea was to share the video here, but I don't know what is going on with the camera. So I'll start with the presentation. My first book for you today is Golpe de Suerte. It's a book from Venezuela by Alexandra Lopez. She is from Venezuela. The publisher is Primario. And this is a true story about the guacamayas that fly over the sky in Caracas and how it happened. In the 80s, a family took one guacamaya that was hurt and took care of her, and eventually more guacamayas were coming. The format of the book is like in graphic novel format, so we recommend this for grade and up. The next book that I have for you is Si yo tuviera una púa. Let me try to share the screen, because my presentation, I actually needed the camera, and I'm gonna stop sharing right now and I'm gonna try one more thing. It's gonna take less than a minute.
thanks everybody. We're just dealing with some technical difficulties. Perfect. We see you, Jenny. Your camera is on. Your mic is off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Ah, thanks God. Oh, I was sweating my life off. Okay, welcome again. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the patience. And welcome to Cinco Books. I have a presentation for you guys today, and I'm gonna be sharing my screen, and I'm gonna be sharing also my camera to show you the books. I just talked about Golpe de Suerte, and I'm gonna share my camera. Can you see now the book?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is Golpe de Suerte. I was telling that is by Alexandra Lopez from Venezuela. She lives in Miami, and we are so happy to have her book with us. The format is like a comic or graphic novel. It has few texts, and it's a true story. It's the story of this family who took care in the 80s of a guacamayo that was hurt, and how they helped eventually to have more guacamayos. And nowadays in Caracas, there are so many guacamayos flying over. This is a story about conservation, taking care of nature, and it has a beautiful message. So we are so happy to have this book with us. The next book that I'm gonna show you is Si Yo Tuviera Una Púa by Eva Clemente, and the publisher is Vincent Vives in Spain. The main topic of this book is emotional development, self-esteem, and I like very much the fact that it comes with a guide for parents and teachers in the back. So it helps with the ideas, questions that we can have, that we can do with the children, either in the family or in the classroom. And this is a book about learning to say no, and also to teach children that people can say no to them, and how to deal with frustration or with a negative answer, and that is not the end of the world. The book has a few texts, and it is in rhymes. And the main character is, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's un erizo. And the name is Pepincho. So Pepincho has a lot of, spikes, and eventually he gets rid of all of them because he's giving them away. But those puas are for his protection, his own protection. And at the end of the story, he learns that he cannot give away everything, and he has to learn to say no, and that to have a friend, you don't need to say yes to everything. So I think it's a valuable and a great lesson that we have in this book. It's a great opportunity for children to have this in their lives. And this is the first book that I find, like, for young children. I would recommend this book for first graders and up. The next. El Secreto de Blef, which is also a book by Vicent Vives. And the author is also Eva Clemente, with Teresa Arias, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong one. And also by Vicent Vives from Spain. And in this book, El Secreto de Blef is how some children, you know, we grew up, at least I grew up in Latin America, and I grew up that I have to give hugs to people, and I have to be polite to everybody and accept hugs, and sometimes I didn't want to. So how we teach children about consent is, you know, it's a fine line, and I think it's a very hard topic to talk with children. So this book is especially for that, and Blef is our main character here, and how he's going to school and he doesn't like to give kisses or receive kisses. And at the beginning, his classmates make fun of him, but eventually he shares his experience with other classmates. He makes friends, and he's able to say and to tell to Laura, his best friend, that he doesn't want to give kisses because the place where he comes from, people don't give away kisses. So it's like a fabula, like a fable, but I think it's a valuable lesson for children as well. And it comes with a guide for parents that they can use it at the end of the book. The format of this book is hardcover. We like a lot the quality of Vincent Vives. And the topics that they use, that is also including the guide for teachers or parents. My next book here is a nonfiction series. Ayúdame si puedes is the new release. This one was expected to come out during the book fair in Buenos Aires in April, but it was a virtual book fair this year. But we got the books already. We have it here in Miami. Ayúdame si puedes is how the animals help themselves with their life cycles and with their everyday journeys. We recommend these ones for second graders and up. From the same series, we have Encuéntrame si puedes, which is, you know, camouflage, and Atrápame si puedes, catch me if you can. All of them are hardcovers with very realistic illustrations. This publisher is from Argentina, IMMIGRANT, and we like the fact that the main editors are biologists and editors. So we trust the information and the science that they put in their books. So my next book is Sombra. Sombra is a book about friendship, companion, pets, and hunting, which is, you know, a controversial topic nowadays. But we like that in the book, you won't see guns. There are no illustrations or mentions of guns whatsoever. Not violence involved either. The hunting that the dog is doing, Sombra is the name of the dog, is basically for fun, and he didn't hunt anything at the end of the story. But it's a book about adventure as well, because it keeps you there reading, and I think young children enjoy it very much, because Sombra is chasing a rabbit, but he never gets to the rabbit, you know, the rabbit is faster. And it's a book by Pablo Muller. The publisher is Del Naranjo. This is a new release for this year, for 2020, was also expected to be out during the Buenos Aires Book Fair, and we are lucky enough to have the new releases from this publisher that we like a lot. My next new release is Acá y Allá, a paperback edition of this book with the illustrations, where the illustrations are insects. And we play a lot in this book with the language. It has a lot of phonetics going on, working with acá and allá and the meaning of those words. And it also has the topic of borders, because acá is a town and allá is the other town, and they decide to do a wall. And what happens when they decide to divide their territories, and eventually, well, they are not so happy anymore because they cannot share, and they don't have the butterflies and all the visitors that they wanted to have. So it's a simple book in a way, but it's also with a deep message and a deep meaning. Also from 2020, from Del Naranjo, and by Verónica Sucaxer. The next one is, if I am going too fast, guys, please let me know. Sometimes I talk too fast. La Tortuga de la Estrella, also by Del Naranjo. And the author is Cecilia Blanco. This book has amazing illustrations with diversity from the ocean, and also talks about conservation. And it's the story of this turtle, a sea turtle, that comes to visit this town. It could be anywhere in the Caribbean or anywhere in the Polynesian Islands. And it's how, you know, the sea turtles live a lot of years. So it's how this turtle with a star in his head visits this town for 3 generations, from when she was a small turtle to when she was an older one, and how the grandfather from one generation to the other teaches to the grandchildren to take care of the animals and of the nature that surrounds them. It's a hardcover book, which is a format that is one of our favorites because for libraries it's more durable. Next one, Encuentro. Encuentro is a silent book by Soha Lim, also by Del Naranjo from Argentina. And it explores the imagination, creativity, and the reading habits. It's a silent book, no text at all. And it's about the adventure of this rabbit when he goes to a book. The beauty of a wordless book or a silent album is that it can be told in so many languages and in so many ways. And it leaves the door open for the imagination. And here you can see the rabbit inside the book is going to different worlds. And when the rabbit comes or finishes the book, he has all this, which is his creativity, like the line of creativity. So he has something with him. My next book is ¿Quién se esconde entre las formas? ¿Quién se esconde entre las formas is also a hardcover book for kindergarten or younger children, and is to get familiar with the numbers and the shapes. This is a translation from the Italian by Silvia Borando, published in Argentina by Ediciones del Naranjo, and is also a new release for 2020. Siska by Piero Cecchiavo. Siska is one of my favorites for this selection that we did, because it's a story that I think the message is current. Siska is a little girl that she starts going to the park nearby to her house with her father. But eventually in the story, no one can go with her to the park. And eventually we just find out in the story that she lives with her grandmother only. It's a book about changes on the routine, changes on lifestyle. We have today something or someone and tomorrow we don't. And how to deal with that, how to cope with that, with changes. I think it's extremely important nowadays to teach children and the younger generations to deal with loss, with changes, and with the, the current situation that we are living everywhere. And Siska eventually finds out that growing a plant is a good idea for her to see new beginnings. And it's also like a metaphor for us to see that sometimes we don't have like this, we don't see anything on the soil, but then when you see the little plant growing, it's like a new life, a new chapter. Also a hardcover book. Ahora we go to Colombia with Convita. Convita is a book to overcome fears. The fears that we have when we are children or even when we are adults. In this case, in Convita, this little girl is learning to ride her bike and all the challenges that she finds. It's a wordless book as well. It's like a comic, and the illustrations tell the story and how our little girl in the story needs to overcome her fears to help her family. And she falls from the bicicleta, from the bike a lot of times, but she comes in again and she tries again and again until she conquers the bike path. This is it's not a hardcover, but it's like a mix between a hardcover and paperback edition. It's from Rey Naranjo in Colombia, and the author is Oscar Pantoja. Now I have Bisiestos by Dipacho, the famous illustrator. I think I am almost running out of time, but I'm gonna be quick. Bisiestos is about that, Bisiestos, the leap year. And famous people in history that were born on the 29th of February. And the language for the description of the people here is a little bit complicated in the sense that if this book is going to be used by young adults or teens that are learning Spanish, is going to challenge them in the pronunciation and to look for the meaning of the different words. Un hombre llamado Gavito by Naranjo and Bojorquez from Colombia, by Rey Naranjo. This book is the life of Gabriel Garcia Marquez, the writer. It has little text and is from when he started being a writer and how he became the journalist and award-winning the Nobel Prize for Literature that he is. And I cannot finish without telling you about this book. ¿Qué suerte tengo? ¿Qué suerte tengo? By Lawrence Chimel. We have a YouTube channel and you can see that our latest video is about ¿Qué suerte tengo? And how a couple of readers that we have in the Cinco Books family read the book in the video. Lawrence Chimel wrote this book with the idea to have inclusion and to talk about the relationship between two brothers. One of the brothers is blind. But Jose, the young boy that describes the story, is so happy and so proud of his brother and all the incredible things that his older brother can do, like reading in the dark because he can read Braille. He can remember so many things and he knows where everything in the house is. So he let us see things in a different perspective. And I think it's something we really need these days. It's a hardcover book. And I'm gonna, do I have 2 more minutes? Yeah, okay. Tumaco. Tumaco, also by Rey Naranjo from Colombia, by Oscar Pantoja. Tumaco is a place in Colombia, and the whole story is about these kids that they want to play football in their town and they want to become famous. It's a wordless book. We like the fact that the main characters and the whole book is about characters of color. So we like to have this diversity in the books here. And I have new releases from Spain, from Coquinos. The famous Pipi Calzas Largas. It's a series of 3 books. Pipi Calzas Largas by Coquinos has been published this year. This is recent, super new, and we are so happy to carry them. The author is Astrid Lindgren. As you know, Astrid was awarded with the Hans Christian Andersen Award, which is like the highest award that an illustrator or author can have. And it's like, it has the original illustrations that it had in 1946. The first time that Pipi was published was in 1946.
Hi, Yanni.
Yes.
Yes, we're running out of time. Thank you
Okay.
so much for your presentation. We do have a comment, Pepincho, cute name. Wow, good titles. And we want to thank all the presenters from Lectorum Publications, from MakeMake, and Cinco Books for joining us today. This was just the first event of the Reforma Virtual Spanish Language Book Bus Summer Series, featuring 16 distributors and publishers. We have more sessions scheduled. Visit reforma.org/bookbus to register to attend future events.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Reforma is an affiliate of the American Library Association. We're bringing this program series free of charge. If you would like to support Reforma, consider becoming a member, volunteering, or donating. Go to reforma.org/get involved. This Thursday, Lectorum and Cinco Books will be back to present a book bus for adult titles, and HarperCollins Español will also join us. Los esperamos. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.